I got to talk about 2016 when you won the Nationals for the first time with Jason. I don't know if anybody, the crowd was so excited. You could feel the energy in Knoxville that night. I want to know what your feelings were when Jason wins that first Knoxville Nationals for you guys as a team.
Yeah, that was huge. Obviously the highlight of his career, and we knew that we had a fast race car. We had a lot of confidence going in the final night, and I felt like he was about as motivated as ever. Spent a lot of time watching videos and just studying where he felt he needed to be on the track that night. And we knew that the competition was going to be tough. Obviously, Donnie's had a lot of good runs there, and we knew that he was going to be one of the main guys to beat that night. But we went in there with a lot of confidence, especially him. And, I felt like we were pretty decent the first half of the race, but under that caution, we made some adjustments. And I could tell just talking to him those few minutes that he was going to do anything it took to win that race. And, obviously he gave it 100%. And I think that's what really excited the crowd that night, not only to have somebody else other than Donnie win the race, but to see the battle that they put on and to see the determination that Jason had to go out and win was really, really cool to see. And I think it'll definitely, go down as one of the best races or one of the best Knoxville Nationals races ever.
I have to agree with you there. So after Jason's passing, you and Bobby decided to keep the team going. Talk about that moment after Jason's passing, and that, man, how difficult of a decision was it for you guys to keep the team rolling?
It was really tough. We were all really lost and not really sure what to do for a long time. It was Jason Johnson Racing. It was all about Jason and his performance, and he's the boss. He kind of ran the show, and to lose your leader like that was really tough, and a lot of confusion. And we kind of just assumed that things would come to an end. We would put everything for sale and kind of move on with our lives and find something different. But as time went on, we sat down with a lot of our sponsors, and, they were all behind us and supportive to see the team continue on, mainly in honor of Jason. And so it was really tough at first, very different, to walk in the shop and not have him there, but to continue on and go to the racetrack and do the very best you could to go out and, give it your best effort to win.
Yeah. I know that you and Bobby were meshed together, but eventually you came down to where you were going to take over the team. Talk about that transition there a little bit.
Well, we knew, at the end of 2018, we had all decided as a team, me and Bobby, all of our sponsors, that we definitely wanted to give it a go in 2019 and kind of take things from there. And that's kind of how we had done things before, even when Jason was here. You just never know what can happen in racing. Things change, so you can't it's hard to make a long-term goal. I mean, you can, but you have to be realistic and know that things can change. So we were confident that we could go out and run a full season in 2019, but then after that, kind of reconsider things. And if everything was still going well, we would continue on. But towards the end of 2019, obviously we all had a lot of changes in our lives. I got married. Jax became very involved in school and in sports, and it got to where it was really tough for her to travel to these races again. And I could kind of see, and obviously with Jason being gone, things are different. I think
tough.
No matter what, blood, racing will always be in her blood. But it's just different not having him here. And I could kind of see that, especially towards the end of 2019. But we continued on. We ran another year in 2020. Obviously, everything that took place with COVID and everything that year kind of really changed or mixed things up a bit. But then by the end of that year, I could really tell, that things were becoming tough for her and that she wanted to scale back from it. I think she's still really involved or really enjoys being involved on the merchandise side of things and keeping those connections with friends and fans. And, thankfully we were able to put something together. To be honest, like in 2020, I had an opportunity to run a second car with Parker Price Miller. And the name of the team was Dietz Motorsports. And I know at the time there was a lot of confusion about what was going on with that. But the bottom line, like we really just didn't know the future of Jason Johnson Racing. And, there were times where I thought maybe Bob just wanted to sell everything completely and be completely done with it. But we sat down at the end of 2020. We were all in agreement that we would like to see the team continue. She did want to take a step back, though, as owner, and offered the opportunity for me to kind of take over and keep it going. And then obviously everyone agreed that we wanted to keep the name of the team the same, Jason Johnson Racing, in honor of Jason, and try to continue his legacy. And, things, I don't think they could have worked out any better than they have. Not only did we obtain great guys, great crew members, great drivers, but we've also have a list, again, of great sponsors who have not only supported this team over the last couple of years, but some of them have been on for multiple years. So it's been, so far, it's been a very smooth transition, and I feel like all of us are happy with how things have played out.
Phillip, I hate to keep you so long, but I got to ask you, how difficult is it? I think we all look at these World of Outlaw teams and we think, oh, man, they've got all this cash flow and everything, but how difficult is it to own and manage a top-flight World of Outlaws team? How difficult is that task?
It is challenging. Obviously, it was very different for me last year because it was kind of my first time to not only do the crew chief side, you have all those roles, but then to also take on the management side of things and make sure that, all the bills were paid and the guys were getting paid. And, I have to thank my wife, Brooke Dietz. She's definitely stepped up and helped me a lot in the whole process, which has made my life a lot easier, but definitely different. I think I try to take care of all the business side during the week, all the emails and relationships, and then come race day, I just kind of put on my old crew chief hat again and focus just on going out and doing the best I can to give Carson a great car to go out and be competitive. But it's been challenging, but then again, I love taking on new challenges, and so far I've had a great time with this new opportunity.
It seems like you and Carson Macedo have a great relationship, good chemistry, and it takes that to be successful at that level, right?
It does, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's more to just having a good car. Like it takes someone that you can relate to and communicate well with, and I think that Carson and I have that. He does a great job behind the wheel. He definitely gives 100%. And, I think it's kind of in my blood. I'm a very competitive person myself. So, I do everything I can to give him the best car possible as well. So, definitely a great guy. We actually have a really good friendship outside of racing, hang out quite a bit. He does spend a lot of time here in Missouri, in between races. So we get to hang out, go play some golf on off days every once in a while. And, he's been a super great fit for our team.
How good a golf player is he? Is he good?
He's actually not bad. I'm terrible, but he actually does a pretty good job.
Yeah. Last weekend, picked up the win down there at Peevely. Man, that was a challenging conditions down there, to say the least, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, very stressful conditions. But, Mother Nature's been pretty tough on us lately, and it was no different in that situation. I think it sounds like they had gotten a lot of rain that week, and we didn't have favorable track conditions, but unfortunately that's
it's just part
the
of
name
it.
of the game sometimes. And, we're all racing on the same track. So you have to make the very best of it. And thankfully for us, I felt like we had some lucky breaks that night. We, qualified decent, but we won a heat race, managed to draw the pole position for the dash, which put us kind of in the hunt, or at least made our chances better. And then there at the start of the race, things kind of got hairy, and on that first restart, actually, he was still in the lead. So
yeah.
I think being up front on a heavy racetrack, on a rough racetrack, definitely makes it a little bit easier for the driver to kind of maintain and hold his position. But I also feel like, we felt like we made some really good calls throughout the night to make him more comfortable and give him a car that could be competitive. So thankfully everything played out. I feel like, I think
it worked out
we were
okay.
all very happy with our result.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty close. McFadden right there. You guys nearly got into him while you were leading the race. And then I think Joe B. Miller's left rear tire come off when you guys were right behind him. Those are a couple lucky breaks along the way.
Yeah. It was a definitely exciting feature. A lot of cautions. I knew we were kind of getting close on fuel, and that kind of made it even more stressful. But, as a fan, I think it was pretty wild to see, but as a crew chief car owner, kind of tough. And I know as a driver, I'm sure it was quite a handful for him as well. But
right,
still a good race overall.
Yeah.